Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rod here with the Hodler Fud Crypto, your new source for all things cryptocurrency. Now, guys, I want to just first of all show some gratitude for all the support that we've gotten in the last couple of months. We started doing this just towards the end of March, and we've now mustered ourselves all the way up to 395 subscribers. So thank you so much for that support. I will continue to start putting content out more frequently and making sure that you're getting price predictions on some low cap stuff that may be up and coming. Now, what you're going to find is that's not this video. I didn't think it was right to come on here and start garbage finding stuff when we don't really know where the market's going right now. Right now, it kind of feels like we're at a really bad prom party and we're watching limbo and how far Bitcoin can fall. How low can this thing go? And if you've been watching it, earlier today we bottomed out just under 30K. I think it got as low as 29,970 or something like that. But it only wicked down there. It wasn't down there very long. And, there's a lot of people out there right now that are really trying to control the amount of FUD in the marketplace and kind of really control the temperament of what's going on. And yes, these things are not favorable right now. This is just the diamond hands or the whales trying to shake you guys out of your positions. And I'm not telling you guys to hold pat and you will be rewarded, because not everybody has that in them. So if you've taken profits all the way through and then found a good signal to get out now, guys, nobody will fault you. But right now is not a good time to sell unless you bought considerably lower. I don't want you to just get out and lose your money because you're now starting to get nervous. So as we break down what's going on in the market, we've got United States tax week. We've got Elon Musk tweeting about some, I might be selling, we didn't sell, ha ha ha. Yada, yada, yada. Like, the guy is an absolute lunatic on Twitter. And then we've also got, corporations talking about, or we may be buying, or we didn't buy, or whatnot. And you got to understand that that's not the institutional money that we're talking about when we're talking about institutions buying into Bitcoin. Those are corporations. The Teslas, the Walmarts, the Facebooks, those are corporations, guys. Those are just people that are holding it on their balance sheet. Institutional are people like JP Morgan, investment funds, firms, large groupings of money. That's the institutional. We're not talking about, we don't care if Walmart owns Bitcoin. We don't care if they put it on their corporate ledger. What do we care for? We don't. Cryptocurrency is about controlling our own destiny and our own control of our financial markets that we're setting forth in, guys. So you got to understand that these news stories, these FUDs, these shakeouts are really just about trying to control and thin out the herd so that there's more money in there for these whales to scoop in and buy. Now, that these whales are looking for these because they've had to do a whole bunch of shakeouts coming down. And so they were running out of money to shake. So they needed to dive this price as low as they could and coordinating a big dive here. But anyways, guys, please understand that we're going through something in a market that is not unheard of. This is a lot like 2013. This still has a lot of the same sentiment as 2017, where you had a big shakeout before a huge run up, and that, you hear BitBoy, he uses the baseball analogy where all the runs are scored in the 8th and 9th inning. Right now, we're kind of we just loaded the bases in the bottom of the 5th, and we need to get out of this jam so that we can kind of get back on our bats in the 6th and start seeing if we can start stacking some support here before we blow things open at the end of this game. So just kind of understand that nobody's telling you right now you've got to pull parachute, rip out of the plane and see what happens. Just definitely understand you don't need to check your portfolio every I wouldn't check it every day right now. It's a tough go. It's really not a pleasant thing to go through every morning. Just, don't look at the unrealized losses, like especially that stuff that we're hodling, right, guys? Like that money's going to come back to us. These markets are going to grow. It's the stuff where you're leverage trading and you're, liquidated, and the CMEs. And honestly, guys, you just got to really take a, they always say scroll out, big picture here. If we thought that this was a huge blow to the market, we'd be way below where we were in 2017. That's alarming. But we're just getting back to, some past support, and we bounced right back off of it. We only wicked down to it and bounced right back up. So let's just keep our heads about us here right now, guys. It's not looking pretty. I get that. But let's go into a few news stories. And the last one really makes me giggle, and I really hope it's true. But anyways, let's go to the first one. 3 good reasons why 30K is probably the bottom for Bitcoin. Well, we got regulatory concerns, a bit of FUD, and uncertainties surrounding Tether appear to have been exaggerated on the Bitcoin's price sell-off. So it looks like we finally found a bottom for this, which is great because finding a bottom gives us a chance for a turnaround and going back up. Now, understand, we're not going to go up with the speed that we fell. We are going to have to kind of edge our way back up into that 42K range and really start stacking some support. And then as we heal the market, we will absolutely start seeing those things pump off for us. So guys, just pay attention. They're going to get better, okay? It may not be tomorrow. It's definitely not going to be today, although we did see a green candle finally on a 4-hour chart, so it was nice. But it's just the bottom's looking like it's starting to set in. We're starting to maybe move ourselves forward. So the next news story here is Bitcoin whales feast as BTC price and the wider market melts down. And we've seen this. Like I said, Bitcoin's over 30% loss. Ethereum had a 38% cool down. And then if you look at pretty much everything else in alt season, yes, we're down there too. So what does this mean? We are seeing Bitcoin dominance start to climb up from the 40%. We were just sub 40 there. We were up to 43% right now. Ethereum's down a little bit to 17%. So you will see those numbers kind of go up together now as people start flooding their money into these great priced assets, with Bitcoin and Ethereum being at really good lows to start purchasing. You'll see that these things are going to help go back up, and you're going to see those money from altcoins come into these two. So it's definitely some good news as the bottom's in. It's just really about a sell-off, flushing out traders using excessive leverage. It happens a lot. When these whales go out to manipulate the market, this is what they're targeting. They're trying to go for vulnerability and make things really hurt. So it's just a whole bunch of manipulation going on in the market. But again, we've got now Wells Fargo Investment Institute to onboard crypto clients by next month. Potentially really good news here, guys. We've got an institution onboarding crypto clients by next month. So you are going to see more access to cryptocurrency. Good things. They're saying close to $2 trillion in crypto assets are in the process of evaluating onboarding its cryptocurrency investment platform for qualified investors. So definitely some good news. We've got bears and bulls or something else altogether. Crypto expert weighs in on recent volatility. Bitcoin is not going to bounce right back, says Novogratz, right before it bounced to 42,000. So the price of Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrencies have taken double-digit percentage drops in the last 24 hours, but some crypto experts still seem to be cautiously optimistic about the market as a whole. In an interview with CNBC Squawk Box on Wednesday, Galaxy Digital founder Mike Novogratz said that it was going to take a while for crypto markets to consolidate and find the bottom as the price of Bitcoin dipped to 30K earlier in the day. He then later went on to say that it was roughly at 38,000, having been more than 42,000 at the close of the stock market yesterday. You've had a confluence of events, a combination of tax days, Elon Musk tweets and whatnot, starting to break down the positivity and price action. It's just literally going on everything we've talked about and everything everybody else is talking about. But guys, he's saying it there. It looks like the bottom's in as well. Okay, so we got another thing. This is the one that I really... There's one more story after this, but this is the one that kind of makes me kind of giggle, kind of makes me a little bit happier. This one is the one that made me giggle. This one here says, Bitcoin price dip below 40K cost Tesla nearly 100% of its BTC profits. Elon Musk may have egg on his face after his comments effectively erased all the money his company made from buying Bitcoin. Again, this would be a short-term hurt, but this is something that's showing up on the ledger and is going to also affect his Tesla stock. So maybe he might actually learn just to shut up, stay off Twitter. Maybe we don't need to really hear his comments or his naysays or his horsing around with his Bitcoin postures. We don't need it. We don't want it. Elon, take your ball and go home. Maybe find a place to plug in your electric car for the night. Hopefully it's using green energy sources. Anyways, so it's, like I said, it made me giggle just because as much as we all hurt from these dips, he is hurting. And what do we always say to do during the dips, guys? Is buy them. Buy the dips. They're a gift. This is not the end of this bull run. Nothing is lining up to say right now we are in that position where the bull run is over. This thing is going to dredge on again. We're middle of May. So we've got June, July, August, and September. We've got 4.5 months. This is the little bit of pain in the middle of every bull run that we go through. So we've 4.5 months of money making still ahead. This may cool down some of those price predictions of 350K for Bitcoin, but it's definitely telling us we're going to hit a 6-figure Bitcoin this year. So just remember to breathe. Zoom out, look where we're at. Stock to flow still on track, guys. Nothing is showing us on any of the 28 indicators or whatever it was, nothing showing us that this is the end. Okay? The last one here is just some more FUD. And this one here is saying, institutional investors dump Bitcoin for gold, says JP Morgan analyst. Well, let's be honest. If they're involved in investing in Bitcoin, do you think that they're going to dump Bitcoin for gold? We're talking about, yes, 2 stores of value here, but if you've already been invested in Bitcoin, and maybe what's happening is the investors that invested in at $55,000 or $65,000 are starting to question their move over from gold to Bitcoin. That may be happening. But what's not happening is people that have been a true proponent of Bitcoin, they're not taking their money out now. People have been in Bitcoin for 8 years aren't going to suddenly be like, maybe we should go and try gold for a little bit. That's not happening, okay? Because what happened 8 years ago? You bought Bitcoin stupidly cheap. So why would you jump out of it and go and try gold, something that doesn't move very well? It doesn't make sense. Don't buy into this FUD, guys. I want to show you the chart. There's not much positive on it. We all know that. But we had a whole bunch of red candles in a row. And after we wicked down to that 30,000, or just shy, 29,970 or whatever it was, we hit it with a really good 4-hour green candle where we got up to 40,500, somewhere in that range. But then we pushed right back down with another solid red candle. Well, guess what? Right now we're hitting with another green candle and we're swinging from 30 38.2 down to as low as 35. So really expecting that's where we're going to see Bitcoin stay for the next couple of days. There can't be a whole lot left out there to expire for futures contracts for the end of this month. We're kind of mid-month right now, guys, and I don't really see next week having a negative effect, but I could maybe definitely see this weekend being used as a warm-up period, because God knows we've had a long enough cool-down period. But we're going to see this maybe as a warm-up period where this is going to actually go through and stack some accumulation and maybe pop itself back up. And maybe we will be looking for like a $46,000 Bitcoin coming out of this weekend and really just slow and steady getting up there. And it's really hard to go over the Bitcoin chart, guys, and not giggle or tell you some kind of false lie about it and say, well, this is what I'm seeing. Because the really strong things with the indicators being the indicators on the Bitcoin chart is we had an inverse head and shoulders pattern and never saw that neckline promise. Now, of course, there's statistical data that'll say that it's only going to happen 90% of the time coming out of that pattern and so on and so forth. But guess what? Right now, what we are swallowing is a really big drop in Bitcoin price. And all we need to do is remain calm and get paid out at the end, because this isn't the end of Bitcoin, guys. This is just a cool down period in the market faced by, and it would be different if we saw the market react and then, the market reacted the way it did based on events. But what happened is what really started to spiral this out of control is we had our pullback and correction, and at the bottom of that channel, Elon Musk, boom. We might be selling our Bitcoin. Way down. Then what happens the next day? The next day it's tax filing day in the US. Well, we got a whole bunch of people now pulling money out of the market to pay taxes. So what happens again? We've got more money, more pull down, more pull back. And then we were promised of some positive news. Walmart bought Bitcoin. And then what happens? Walmart didn't mention Bitcoin on their May 18th call. Even further. So guys, it was more of a poor timing of events that really led us to where we are today. We're going to bounce through this. We're going to get back into the green. Just breathe, stay calm, zoom out, look at the asset as a whole. Don't look at it as today. Okay, guys? Don't get shaken out over other people's greed. Fear and greed right now is at 11, staggeringly low. Low. Don't use this as an opportunity to get out and wish that you had stayed in. This isn't looking like we want to get out and not come back to this market. If you don't have the stomach for this, I can understand that. It's really hard. But most of us that have been here understand that there's corrections and cool down periods, and there is manipulation. And it's about protecting yourself. It's about taking profits on the way up so these don't hurt as much. But why do you take profits on the way up, guys? It's so that when we hit these dips, you can go out and buy more. Imagine you sold at 65. Pretty much, if you sold at 65, almost right now, you could buy 2 Bitcoin. Okay, guys? There's some big opportunities here. Same with Ethereum. You sold at 42, you could almost buy 2 ETH right now. But guys, all I'm asking for is a little bit of time. I didn't want to get on and start giving price predictions and a whole bunch of extra hopium in the market. There's a lot of people out there massaging that and really trying to make this a calm place. And that's what we need to do. Calm heads need to prevail here. We need to wait this out. Like I said, the weekend is going to be a warm-up period, and we might get back to a little bit more normal next week, starting on Tuesday. But that's all I got for tonight, guys. Remember, protect yourself. Don't wreck yourself. Hodler Fudd, out.